Mariusz Pudzianowski is a true example of a great warrior from ancient legends with the physique of Apollo and the strength of Zeus. The Polish strongman was crowned the world's strongest man and became a living legend in strength sports. But that wasn't enough for him. Seeking a new challenge, Mariusz traded the iron barbell for fighting gloves. And now, let's take a look at how this Polish giant became a true titan in the world of MMA, shattering all stereotypes about bodybuilders in real fights. Welcome to Boxing Game. Here we go. From a young age, he immersed himself in the world of strength training, quickly rising to become not just a local star, but the greatest strongman on the planet. Yet his ambitions knew no bounds. Sculpting his body like a majestic statue, he felt it was time to face a new challenge in mixed martial arts. No one had ever doubted the power of Mariusz Pudzianowski, but the moment arrived when the Polish giant faced a titan from the harshest corners of Africa, the undefeated Ousmane, a fighter from Senegal weighing in at 350 pounds. This colossal giant was the test that would truly reveal what the Polish powerhouse was made of. 100 pounds of muscle, forged in the African savannah, promised to be an insurmountable obstacle for the strongest man on the planet. The outcome of the fight seemed almost predetermined. From the start, the African warrior, confident in his size, charged forward. But as always, our hero was one step ahead. One lightning-fast strike, and that was it. The African, just a moment ago showing his fury, was now lying defeated with his airplane mode turned on. Pudzianowski found himself facing a fighter who posed an entirely different level of threat.
From Materla right now. Big uppercut! There's the uppercut! It's another!
Michał Materla, sponsor of a tattoo studio, a virtuoso of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, for whom every grip is not just a move, but a deadly trap for anyone who falls into it. That's why he is rightfully called the king of submissions, with victories that are a true art of destruction. The bell sounded, and from the start, Pudzianowski, knowing he had to keep his distance, carefully stayed out of range. It wasn't until his X-ray vision kicked in that Mariusz realized it was time to initiate the attack. After a brief burst of action, Materla quickly recovered and continued the fight, but it was a huge mistake. In the next moments, Pudzianowski, like a punisher of fate, plunged Materla into darkness, robbing him of the light in his eyes. At the end of 2009, the world's strongest man made his MMA debut, facing his fellow countryman, Marcin. Najman aimed to break this mountain of muscle, but the strongman had other plans for his opponent in the cage. Pudzianowski didn't care about technique. His phenomenal strength more than made up for any lack of skill. With a relentless series of low kicks, Mariusz turned his opponent's legs into a football ball, delivering a merciless punishment. Najman's ticket to the morgue was only spared by the referee, who barely managed to stop the Titan's onslaught in the ring. Thus began the triumphant journey of the powerlifting legend into the world of MMA. With this performance, Pudzianowski had already become a looming threat for every heavyweight on the horizon. 6 months later, Pudzianowski returned to the fighting arena, stepping into the cage twice in 1 month. The Polish machine steamrolled over the monster from the land of the rising sun, Yusuke Kawaguchi, tearing him apart like fresh sashimi.
Mariusz Pudzianowski!
However, just 2 weeks later, Mariusz tasted the bitter flavor of defeat for the first time in a no-holds-barred clash with former UFC champion Sylvia.
Tyle tylko, że powalenie. Mariusz Pudzianowski kontra tym Sylvia. Wysoko pociągnie.
Muszą obalić Sylwę. Teraz Sylwa kopie niskimi kopnięciami low kickami.
Próba zejścia do nogi mocno kolanem teraz.
In late 2010, the Titan's journey was blocked by his complete opposite, legendary Esch, better known as Butterbean. Defying every stereotype about a fighter's physique, Butterbean dominated his opponents in the ring like burgers at McDonald's.
A couple rounds and then ultimately, of course, he's fighting.
And he winks at Troy.
After amassing an impressive collection of boxing victories, Esch transitioned into MMA.
There you go. There it is. That's about it. I mean, that's about it.
On the day of the fight, the ring barely held the two heavyweights, and fans eagerly anticipated the fight of the century.
Z drugiej strony mamy Butterbeana, czyli najcięższe wcielenie zła w ringu. Dostał lewą i jeszcze raz dostaje bijatyki. Z Butterbeana uciekać z narożenia. Robić Pudzianowski.
However, Pudzianowski wasted no time showcasing his wrestling prowess, pummeling legendary Butterbean with hammers. After witnessing the festival of violence, the referee stepped in to halt the one-sided beatdown, saving Butterbean's bacon. This victory became a cornerstone in Mariusz's ascent to the MMA Olympus. After the brutal duology between the Dominator and the English Colossus James Thompson, matchmakers set up the biggest fight of Pudzianowski's career, pitting the Polish superhuman against none other than Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp, a true beast straight out of a chemical factory, once struck fear into the hearts of martial arts legends with his ferocious strength and relentless aggression. Aside from his fearsome career, Sapp also shined on Hollywood movie sets, adding to his larger-than-life persona. But behind the curtain, Bob carried a darker reputation, earning the title of a dirty rat bred on chemical enhancements. Before the highly anticipated fight, Brash Bob released a mocking video, promising to turn Pudzianowski into a little girl.
Can you tell us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Mariana. Hi, Mariana's my name.
KSW 19. I'm coming for you, Mario.
From Mariusz's cold, focused gaze, it was clear the Polish Titan was ready to exterminate the rat, stepping into the role of Shredder himself. When the bell rang, the Titans unleashed a brawl for oxygen, engaging in a savage melee that left fans on the edge of their seats. However, Pudzianowski quickly identified a flaw in Sapp's technique and began the public execution of the steroid-fueled giant by securing a dominant position. The strongman, as if meeting his protein quota, tenderized Sapp's face with hammer-like punches, leaving it looking like a rare steak. Even the referee couldn't stop the onslaught alone, forcing Sapp's coaches to pull the furious Pudzianowski off their fallen fighter. In the end, Mariusz triumphantly left the ring, sending Bob Sapp straight to the MMA bottom. From that point on, the once fearsome monster devolved into a cowardly laughingstock. In 2012, Pudzian closed the year with a fight against the mad Greek, Christos Piliafas. Despite his Greek roots, Piliafas did not possess the body of Apollo or the strength of Heracles, unlike Pudzianowski. Because of this, the Pole mercilessly forced Christos to lose his connection with reality. In the summer of 2013, Mariusz first faced a man who made him feel like a small fighter compared to a giant. His opponent was the real giant, whose every step was like the epicenter of an earthquake, McCorkle, also known as Big Sexy. Pudzianowski approached the crucial fight seriously and tried to knock down the giant's upper floors with his heavy sledgehammers.
Będzie miał więcej siły, aby rzucić rywala.
Mariusz Pudzianowski. 50 sekund. Jeżeli Mariusz tego nie chce, to...
The strong man sent McCorkle an urgent ticket on Polish Airlines, taking Gulliver to the ground. But even in this disadvantaged position, McCorkle went for a Kimura, threatening to finish the fight by submission. Just when it seemed like the dominant had no chance, Mariusz rose from the dead. Exhausted, the Pole found the strength to fight back and relentlessly introduced the poor guy's face to the fist ID technique over and over again. In the end, in a brutal fight, Pudzianowski won.
Mariusz Pudzian!
At the end of 2014, fate brought the strongman face to face with another pride of Poland, Paweł Nastula. Nastula is a living legend of judo who mercilessly sent every opponent to meet the mat. Feeling no hint of competition in grappling, Nastula swapped his kimono for fighting gloves and continued to terrorize opponents in the cage.
Zasypał go gradem ciosów.
And so, the national heroes clashed. And the fight was evenly matched until Pudzianowski landed a hellish uppercut.
Wychwyciły nas dłużej, będzie trwała ta walka, tym będzie im ciężej. I znów się szczepili. I w tej chwili trafił Pudzianowski, Nastula na plecach, a Pudzian ruszył z takim mocnym hammerfistem, którym bił głowę Pawła podłoże klatki.
Nastula had to desperately hold on to his consciousness, and it seemed he already regretted signing the contract for this fight. But to the audience's delight, the referee lifted the fighters from the ground, and the bout began to take on a new light.
Nastula nie wykorzystał tak ogromnej I jeszcze Pudzianowski.
Ale to wszystko naprawdę bardzo, bardzo blisko.
By the second round, both fighters were suffering from oxygen deprivation, and in an instant, the Polish judoka caught the strongman in his signature move, the Kimura.
Ale śmigają te ciosy, teraz po nogi rywala idzie Pudzianowski.
Aby mocnymi ciosami z góry zaatakować. Właśnie Pudzian na górze.
Ale jest śmignia! Walczy o balakę, Nastula! Ciągnij to, Paweł, nie!
Mariusz was capable of pulling trucks, but still, escaping the judo master's deadly hold was a tough challenge. However, Pudzianowski managed to do it and began showcasing the beauty of his grappling.
Jeden hammerfist, drugi w tył głowy nie wolno.
Until the final bell, he was grinding his opponent's body into the canvas, dominating from the bottom. The two-round ordeal for Nastula came to an end, but outside the cage, there was another dispute taking place between the referees, who, attempting to rob the strongman, announced an extra round.
I dobrze.
In the following round, Pudzianowski left no chance for his opponent, fully living up to his nickname Dominant and confidently securing a victory over the judo legend.
Pawła Nastulę!
To są sekundy dzielące Pawła.
Mariusz Pudzian!
After a collection of victories, the superstar not only of powerlifting, but also of MMA, Mariusz Pudzianowski, faced the submission master and giant from the legendary Gracie clan, Rolas.
Takes on the legendary.
The Brazilian was head and shoulders above Pudzianowski, but the strongest man on the planet was unfazed, and within moments, shocked everyone. The Polish beast fed Gracie his fistables, sending him into the realm of Morpheus.
Inaczej zbudowany. Mariusz Pudzianowski, mistrzem nokautu. Mariusz Pudzianowski z najszybszym zakończeniem tej walki.
However, in the following KSW tournaments, the series of 4 impressive victories by the strongest man on the planet was interrupted by disappointing losses to Peter Graham and Marcin Rojalski. After 2 heavy defeats, Pudzianowski returned to the cage on December 3rd, 2016, and an extraordinary dark horse appeared on his horizon, drawing special attention. Paweł Mikołajuw, a famous rapper who delights people on stage with his music, but behind the scenes he maims, and it was this different side of him that turned out to be worthy opposition for the strongest man on the planet. Already at the conference, it was clear that the tension was at its peak, with the fighters ready to tear each other apart. But what happened in the cage was even more shocking. From the very start of the fight, the Dominator charged forward, and it looked as though a predator had cornered its prey. Mariusz, wanting to increase his dominance, kept landing his kicks.
To dla niego jest pojedynek nieco. Tu się dzieje w momencie, kiedy obaj wchodzili do klatki. To było wręcz...
But in an instant, one wild shot from Mikołajuw forced the king of powerlifting to bend the knee, leaving the audience questioning the Titan's victory. And after that, Mariusz realized it was time to start a plan to fiercely remove his opponent's tattoos. But fortunately for Mikołajuw, the referee saved his life by sending his body straight into the hands of the doctor.
Popek! No właśnie, no nie poradzi sobie!
Erko skończył, ból się zaczął, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
In the spring of 2017, a shadow of doubt fell on Mariusz. For standing in his way was a true warrior, Tyberiusz Kowalczyk, whose terrifying knockouts stirred the imagination. What intrigued everyone even more were his past accomplishments in powerlifting, where he gave our hero worthy competition, even earning the title of the strongest man in Poland at one point. This fact inevitably drew the attention of Mariusz's fans. Would this be yet another impressive victory or a tragic downfall? The fight began, and Mariusz started by showing what went on at P. Diddy's parties.
Been around there. Look at that. Pudzianowski holds him and he's got his back.
But apparently, Kowalczyk wasn't fond of close quarters, and like an enraged bull, he started tearing through Mariusz's defense.
Perhaps the bigger question mark difference. Big swarm from Pucci.
Connects. Knows he can finish this quickly now. It's a slugfest. Can Pudzianowski get on target and cause some damage?
Pudzianowski knows that he's found his mark more often than not there.
At the moment, Pudzianowski very much behind the
But within the next moments, Mariusz made a move that showed who the real king was.
to winning in the first round. That low kick there.
He basically said, "You are playing checkers while I'm here playing chess."
Within that first 5 minutes, and that's what Pudzianowski has done. He's played.
Those kiloton punches literally knocked all confidence out of Kowalczyk. For in the second round of the fight, Mariusz saw fear in Kowalczyk's eyes.
Well, in fact, on a cold
It seemed like it was time to order him a coffin, for moments later, Mariusz began preparing himself a steak for dinner, and for dessert, he turned Kowalczyk's face into a strawberry pie.
Pudzianowski straight in there for the ground and pound. Can Kowalczyk survive? Pudzianowski here makes a bid for
Avoided most of the meaningful shots except for that elbow. There's the tap.
Well, that was unbelievable.
Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Recently, Mariusz secured a victory by majority decision against Jay Silva, but then a streak of misfortune began for him.
Mariusz Pudzianowski.
First, the strongman lost to Karol Biedorf, and then in a dramatic fight with Szymon Kołecki, Mariusz suffered a serious injury that seemed to put a final stop to his career. However, Mariusz did not stop. He literally overcame his own personality. After a long and difficult rehabilitation, the veteran chose as his opponent the relentless, victory-hungry knockout artist from Bosnia, Erko Jun. The young prospect, possessing extraordinary power, was meant to be a true test for Mariusz and see if he had lost the fire that once burned in his eyes.
In our main event tonight, Erko Jun, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
From the very beginning, Pudzian decided not to tempt fate with the young prospect and took Jun down to the mat.
Erko's doing a good job. I think he's got his back to space where he wants it, but this is what he did. Come on. Double on his...
For the rest of the round, he tried to leave his opponent's face imprinted on the canvas with his hammer fists. But in the second round, another takedown attempt almost led Mariusz to defeat.
And gets taken down, but this time Jun gets on.
Jun, settling in comfortably, unfairly grabbed the cage to maintain control while unleashing hellish ground and pound.
And pound!
However, the fair referee quickly stopped the violation, not allowing Jun to change the course of the fight. By that time, Pudzianowski was already tired, and Jun managed to regain the initiative and expertly outstrike Mariusz.
Jun's gonna go for it here. He smells the finish. Pudzian on the ropes, on the wire. Gets the double A.
But as it turned out, this was truly a masterclass in strategy from Mariusz. He skillfully confused Jun, made him lose focus, and at the perfect moment, with incredible precision, sent his opponent's rear end to the canvas.
With 3 minutes on the clock, that's a lot of...
This time, Dominant took the top position without hesitation, and his fists, like brushes, painted Jun's face with a bloody hue.
On the hips, keep punching. Referee giving a warning here. This looks close.
Well, that's it. It's all over.
Pudzianowski.
Another opponent of Pudzianowski was the true cholesterol giant, Nikola Milanović, who seemingly decided to show that a pile of fat is just as good as a mountain of muscle. But when Milanović charged at Pudzianowski, as if he saw a hot dog in front of him, Dominant expertly took the top position and began turning the hefty fighter into a first-class steak. In the end, Pudzian won and proudly pointed to his chest, reminding everyone of what he should focus on. In the summer of 2021, the Polish Titan challenged a fellow countryman whose name had become synonymous with monstrous strength and unmatched knockout artistry. A true cult figure arose around him, known for his insane ability to step into the ring 3 times in one night and send his opponents into sweet slumbers with each fight, consistently claiming victory. That man was Łukasz Jurkowski, and his mere presence in the ring signified one thing: defeat for anyone daring to challenge him. The fight took place on June 5th at the iconic Erko Arena. As the bell sounded, the giant wasted no time, setting out to test Jurkowski's muscle endurance. However, Jurkowski responded by switching to ninja killer mode, moving so fast it seemed like a gamer mashing every button in search of a fatality. Yet these strikes appeared to enrage Mariusz, as they seemed like a gross underestimation of his abilities. After a well-timed kick, Pudzianowski swiftly took Jurkowski to the canvas and followed up with brutal elbows.
No i w tej chwili powinien Pudzianowskiego. Lepszej sytuacji już nie będzie miał.
In the second round, Jurkowski stunned everyone, nearly sending Mariusz into dreamland.
Za chwilę pewnie trafi obrotów wątrobę.
But the strongman, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, launched a fierce counterattack, executing a brutal display of dominance.
Kolan w przerwie między rundami potem. Sędzia może to przerwać. Ręce wykluczone, koniec walki.
In the end, Pudzianowski brutally dismantled Jurkowski, leaving not only his face battered, but also extinguishing his desire to continue his sporting career. After such a one-sided beating, the Dominator only suffered 2 defeats, first to Mamed Khalidov and then to Artur Szpilka in the second round. However, despite all the setbacks, Mariusz didn't stop. He continues to pursue his passion, doing what he loves. Now, looking at Mariusz Pudzianowski's career, we can confidently say, this man didn't just defeat his opponents, he defeated his fate. Friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. This was Boxing Game. See you next time.